Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. Chaz Hogan, Australian journalist. Oh, good day, Mr. Murdoch. To what do I owe the pleasure? How am I? Mate, I'm in North Wales. I'm colder than a witch's tit. You've got good news for me? The Bala gig is over and I'm coming home. Oh. Alright, well, what's me next assignment? Yeah, alright then, mate. We'll talk about it when we get back. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to the final episode of Bala Town. It's sad, isn't it? It really is. I had intended to do another season. At the time of recording, the FM21 beta hasn't come out yet, but it's expected to come out, if not today, then certainly in the next few days. And we just don't have time to do another season. So, unfortunately, the impossible dream remains such for Bala Town. I feel like I let everybody down a little bit, but we have come a long way, and hopefully we've all had a good time. I know I've had a good time. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. But what we're going to do today is have a quick look and see, how we've done during the 15 years that we've spent here. I will name my team of the save for the 15 seasons. Then we'll skip ahead 10 years and see exactly what has happened at the club in after we've left. See how they progressed. If they could keep their rise going, or if, as I fear could happen, they start to sell off all their good players when bids come in, and they just slowly whittle away back down to, maybe not exactly where Welsh football was, but certainly back down a couple of notches. But we've come a long way. We are a professional club now, of course, a 3.5-star reputation, a rich club. It's been a really, really good time of things. The general information here, in the end, it was only Ryan, Sears and myself that became club legends, which is very harsh. Wade and Allmark particularly should be a legend, shouldn't he? So they finish as icons. Big Mac, Tommy Williamson and Ryan Burke should be a little bit more than a favoured personnel as well, old Burkey. So that is how things finish off there. The only thing we were never able to do, which I did want to do, is build a new stadium, but that is what it is, isn't it? That was out of my control. Let's have a quick look at our overview at the time of the club, and we won 15, well, not all of these was us, but 15 league titles. They were all us. 12 Welsh Cups. The club now has 8 Welsh League Cups, 5 Iron Brews, and then a few other things here that was sort of lower league stuff that was before we came in. But look at this. We came in here and we just won the league every year, which is much, much better than I thought. I thought it was going to take a few years to overturn TNS. We have a look at what happened with TNS. I mean, they were never the same, were they, when we came in? They were runners-up for a number of years, and then they just started to drop away. Which, to be honest, you love to see. I think, though, that recent times, the big rivals for us were Kef and Druids. It took them a while to get themselves established. They even got relegated twice. But once they came up, they really did establish themselves as our biggest rivals, I think. So I think they've done quite well. And another team maybe worth a mention is FN20. They were always, weren't they? Always there or thereabouts. Had a little bit of a drop-off when Marcus Wade left them, and then they finished off strongly as well. So, yeah, I think they've been our 3 big rivals, FN20, Kef and Druids, and obviously the New Saints as well. Now let's go and have a quick look at how we've done as a manager here. Quick look at the profile. Actually isn't exactly what I want to look at, but if we go... My tactical style is not Route 1. Come on, game. That is outrageous. I'm offended at that. That's actually ruined the whole series for me. Let's start again. I'm not going to go down as a Route 1 manager. I'm not Big Sam. Any Big Aussie. I'll tell you what, these attributes are not too bad. We came from nothing, and we'll look at that. We ended up at a 4.5-star reputation manager. What I actually wanted to do is look at this. So we had 1 club and 1 national team, 5,474 days in charge, 99 awards. Can I get a lifetime achievement to make up the 100? That's ridiculous. We made 8.25 million. I wish I could get some of that in real life. Holiday time, that was just to get to the end of the World Cup. We actually didn't spend any time on holiday. We bought 129 players for a total of 114 million. We sold 94 for a total of 106. So given how far we've come, to only have actually spent a net 8 million is not too bad, I would say. The biggest fee spent was for Antonio Susnik, 16.5. The 20 million we got for the Armenian was the biggest fee. We obviously could have sold players for more than that, but ultimately we wanted to keep them. We paid 1.2 million to agents, and we released 109 players. We have played as Bala Town manager 877 games. We've won a nice even 700 of them, drew 71, lost 106. We scored 2,341 goals, and I think about half of those were from Damien Allmark in the league. Goals against 583, that's not too bad, is it, over so many games? Less than a goal a game conceded on average. A goal difference of plus 1,758, which is a very nice number indeed. A 79% win percentage. We won 24 cups, 15 leagues, obviously no promotions or relegations. Of course, we had a shorter spell at Wales, 27 games there, 17 won, 5 drawn, 5 lost, 63 goals for, 24 against, 39 plus 39 goal difference, and a 62% win percentage. That's not bad for a Welsh manager, I would imagine. So there we go. That is that. Now, before we go and do what I don't want to do and resign, we do need to have a look at the all-time club 11 and see what the game is. This one here, isn't it? See what the game gave us, and then we'll have a look at what I've chosen. So this is the game's best 11 for us. You can see everybody's stats there. We've had a look at this, I think, an episode or two ago, but that is what the game has given as our best 11. I love that Lewis Gray is still hanging in there. Wonderful stuff, Louis. Anyway, this is my best 11. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so now it is time for me to announce my best 11 for our time at Bala Town. Now, I've tried to judge or pick the players based on their importance for us at the time, because obviously if we were picking the best 11, it's pretty much the team we have now. So with that in mind, the goalkeeper. Now, I came down really to a choice between two that were with us regularly. It was between Rima Miles and Tanaskovic, and in the end, I've gone with Tanaskovic. He really was a big step up for us at the time. So 217 games he played for us, 0 goals, obviously, and an average match rating of 6.92. So next up, it is left back, and this really was a choice in two. It was between Harry Montgomery, who was brilliant for us, and Ryan Burke. I really couldn't decide between the two. At the time, they were both absolutely brilliant for us. In the end, I've gone with Ryan Burke, 159 games, 37 goals, and an average match rating of 7.56. I apologise, I've got to look down to read the stats because there's no way I can remember all of these. Next up, we'll go with right back, and again, it was a choice in two for me, or maybe three. Noster was brilliant, but really not right towards the end. Ballerini gets an honourable mention, but Ryan Sears was an absolute star for us at the time. Burke and Sears, they were magnificent, weren't they? One each side. So Sears had 123 goals. 100 would be impressive. 123 games, 12 goals, and an average match rating of 7.44. This brings us to centre-backs, and I'll be honest, this was the easiest position for me to pick. I've got to give him an honourable mention for KDH because he was an absolute stalwart for us in the league games. But the two I've chosen, the first man, at the time we got him, he was absolutely different class. Rhys Williams, he played 230 games for us. He scored 38 goals with an average match rating of 7.44. And the other man is Susnik. Only played 49 games for us, 2 goals, an average match rating of 7.23. Most of those games in Europe, and you could just see his touch on the ball. He was really good for us. And look, you'll see what he did in his career in a second here. That brings us to midfield. In the centre of midfield, some honourable mentions here. I've got to go to the Armenian and Brett Brewerton. But ultimately, the two that I've chosen, the first man is Sam York. Again, he was absolutely brilliant for us. He played in Europe for a number of seasons, 199 games in total, 15 goals, including one I will never forget against Barcelona. And, of course, an average match rating of 7.36. And the other man, I've given it to Denny Garmy. Again, absolutely love this guy. 120 games, 25 goals, and an average match rating of 7.59. Now, this brings us to the wingers. The right-hand side, Gareth has to get an honourable mention. He has been a star of the series, but I've given the shirt to Marcus Wade. 89 games, 62 goals, an average match rating of 8.1. Absolute legend. On the left-hand side, again, honourable mentions. I've got to go to Fomin, who came in later in the series and was great. And Sean Davis, who was also very good throughout the series almost. But I've given the shirt to a man at the time that absolutely took us to another level, and that is Adam Maurice. He played 131 games for us, 38 goals, and an average match rating of 7.41. That brings us to the number 10. And again, honourable mention here for Ewan Dixon. He was one of the best players to come through the academy, certainly in the early years. But I couldn't look past, and he really did fade away a little bit towards the end. But Tommy Williamson gets the shirt. He had 128 games, 61 goals, an average match rating of 7.5. it's easy to forget at the time when we signed him from Arsenal, he was a game changer for us. He was absolutely brilliant, so I have to give him the shirt. And this brings us to striker. And, well, there's only three. There is only three. Bussenbrew, absolute legend. The hat-trick he got against AZ Alkmaar, wasn't it, is one of the high points of the series. Big Mac, I absolutely love the guy, and again, he's more than an honourable mention. If I could play a 12th man, it would be him. But how can we look past Damien Ormark as the striker of the series? 383 games he played for us, 317 goals, and an average match rating of 7.64, including he was a Welsh Player of the Year a number of times, wasn't he? So that's my team of the series. Let me know your team of the series either in the Discord or in the comments below. And if you want to tweet them to me, I can retweet them out. I'd be curious to see how close you think I got to what you would have picked as the team of the season, of the series even. So, the time has come. Farewell Bala Town. It has been an absolute blast. So we have a mass exodus as we leave. Cooper has left us, one of our coaches. The assistant manager has gone with us. A goalkeeping coach, Denny Gosset. Maybe you should have stayed, mate. Although, to be fair, he might get a manager job. He's also the Wales B manager. Maybe he'll get the step up to be the Welsh senior team manager. Goalkeeping coach, I forgot I had Harry Kuehlers in my coaching staff. Harry, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate, working with you. He's wanted by Bala Town. Maybe they want another Australian manager. Well, you never know. And anyway, so Harry Kuehl and another fitness coach has left. Let's have a look and see who they look to get to replace us. The favourites are Connor Roberts. Very, very decent manager. He's still working his way up the coaching badges as well. He could be quite a good appointment for them, actually. Currently at Stoke. So that's one. Julian Nagelsmann, unemployed. I tell you why. Imagine we got replaced by him. Imagine if you told Julian Nagelsmann now he'll be managing in Wales one day. But he'd be a good choice as well. So there's going to be a good, it looks as though, and Mirko Marin, he was at Chelsea for a bit, wasn't he, in real life as a player? Yeah. Again, looks to be a very good manager. Maybe not as good as the other two, but still looks as though there's going to be a capable pair of hands that come in to replace us. So that is. We've also had some people left us the Wales job with us. So that is that. I've absolutely loved my time at Bala Town, but let's skip ahead now to 10 seasons in the future and see where that leads us. Alright, welcome to the year 2044, and first things first, I got my stadium. They've got the Aussie Villain Park. I'm going to start crying. They finally built it for me. A 1,818-seater built 4 years ago. Thank you very much. Still based in corporate facilities, and the other facilities have taken a little bit of a falling off there. Our current stadium has become the training ground. And look at that, the 5-year deal of almost £1 million at Aussie Villain Park. I'm so happy I got my stadium. That has made my day. But you got to say, I mean, ultimately, we're still a professional club. We're still a 3.5 reputation club. Finances are still good. Still in the Champions League. And look at this. It doesn't look like we've lost a league title the entire time. Go and have a look, first things first, at who actually did replace us as manager. So where did we leave off? Well, they've had a few. So it was Leonardo Jardim that came in to replace us. Ultimately, he's now retired, so we can't see too much about him. Denny Drinkwater replaced him. How did Denny do? So he's okay, I suppose. So he then left the role. We had Otto Addo, who was our under-21 manager. He was the caretaker. Next in was Christopher Schindler. Is that a German who did... He did fine. I mean, it looks as though pretty much everybody won the league, doesn't it? Next up was Lucas Negro. Again, a solid enough manager. Then we had Joel come in. He lasted a little while here. Let's have a look at Joe. Again, quite a good manager. So at least it was looking like it was decent managers that came in. We have a caretaker, Paul Seith, came in for a little bit. Again, a good manager. I tell you what, they love their Germans, don't they? And the most recent guy who's been in here for a year, he's had 2 league wins, 2 cup wins. It's Roberto Torres. And again, he looks okay, doesn't he? Alright, so let's have a look at the club overview here. We have now won 25 league titles, 22 Welsh Cups. We've won 16 League Cups, 11 Iron Brews. but still no Champions League title. What do you want to do? Let's have a look at the best 11, see who is still there from our team. So Theo has gone in, and he is now the goalkeeper. He played a lot of games for the club. Ended up going off to Saudi Arabia, but he looks like he took over from when we left and was just the number one goalkeeper. So that's good to see for him, and he never had a German cap. Who else is still? KDH and Reece Williams are still there. That is amazing. Well done to those guys. Ewan Dixon is still there. Ollie Maguna, now he came through our youth academy. He was in the last youth intake. He has 78 Wales caps. Look at that, and what a player he is as well. And he is a Bala Town kid. So that's excellent. He's gone to Manchester United as well. So that's great to see. Anybody else that's stuck around? Frank O'Connor now, of course, he was the young left winger that we bought towards the end. He's at Arsenal now. He went there for £24 million. So that looks like it was a good piece of business. Signing for 45 grand, signing for 24 million. Big Mac. He's there. He's retired now. He stayed with us for a little bit, went off to Germany. He had his little spell at Bayern Munich, but never really recaptured the form and never got a German cap either. So that's a shame for Big Mac. Who else is still there? Tennis Kovic still sticks around. He is now 35. Now, of course, we already knew that he had left. Connor Gosney's still there. Burke. Juan Arias ended up playing 217 times. He is now an unemployed coach. He ended up going back to Uruguay for a little bit, but he had a number of 15 assists that season. So that's good to see. He's there. Nicolin stuck around. He's now a free agent. He went to Bournemouth, but he had a decent little time at the club as well. Sam York is still there. He's now a very bad manager that is unemployed. Do we have career stats here for him? So he stuck around not that long, actually, after we left. And then he went off to Kefren Druids and Aberystwyth and promptly retired. And now this is Damien Allmark. So it doesn't look as though retired at 32. He didn't do much after we left, I would say. So a one club man, though. And, well, that's excellent to see. But yeah, that was Damien Allmark before we renamed Damien Allmark. So that's we've got a few that are still there. And I love that both our centre-backs... What ended up happening to KDH, actually, he's now a scout, not a very good one. He left very soon afterwards and went off to play in England, then came back to Connelly Town. And Reece Williams, he was almost done. Yeah, he didn't have too much left when we left. He was already in these 30s. So he's gone a couple of seasons at Carnarvon, and then he is retired as well. So that's all excellent stuff. Where do we want to go next? Let's go have a look and see exactly how we did in European competition. So let's start with the Champions League. So we left this year here where we lost to Bayern Munich on aggregate. So then they were 4th in Group F, 3rd in the Champions League. So we'll have to check Europa League that season. Lost to Bayern Munich again in the first knockout round on away goals this time. Lost to Sarajevo in the qualifying round. Well, that's not good, is it? Lost on the playoffs. So they weren't even making the group stages here. 3rd qualifying round. Champion League's playoff. They made the group stage and got 4th a couple of times. Lost in the Champion League's playoff. And they've in the 2nd qualifying round. So things have dropped off a little bit, haven't they, for the Welsh coefficient, it looks like. Europa League. So they lost to Real Valladolid in the first knockout round. 4th in the group that year. Lost in the first knockout round to Atletico Madrid. 2nd knockout round to Chelsea. 2nd knockout round to Inter. And they were 4th in the group. They didn't even get out of the group. And have they played in the Euro 2 Cup at all? No, they haven't. So let's check in on the records, see if any of our records still stand. 32 league wins in a season. How did they break that? They must... Anyway, so they've broken our records, which is annoying. So they must have... Oh, they've won every game. They won every game in a season. So they had the perfect season. So well done to them. That's good to see. Highest attendance, that's one of ours. So that's good that stuck around. Lowest attendance, they can have that, but we got it, unfortunately. Biggest win, 13-0 versus Pardan. That was one of ours. 6-0 defeat. I wish we didn't have that, but we do. Highest scoring league match, a 10-1. That was us, so that's well done to us. Highest transfer fee paid, 21 million for Marco Tarvanelli from Celtic. That's after us. Biggest transfer fee received, 35 million for Susnik to Manchester United. We'll go and check in on him in a second. So we still have Damien Allmark leading the way, most goals for the club, most appearances, most goals in a season. He has all the records, which is excellent. Highest average match rating is still Marcus Wade, which is good. The youngest player, that's gone to someone here called Greg Hughes, who is, well, unfortunately we can't see too much of. Did that say Wonder Kid? No, it didn't. I'm seeing what I want to see there, unfortunately. Oldest player is still Ryan Valentine from all the way back in Season 1. Fastest goal is still Big Mac. That's good to see. 6 goals in a game by Allmark is still standing. Most assists, Wilkinson with 26. So that's a decent mark, isn't it? So he holds that record. Most man of the match awards is still Big Mac. Most clean sheets is Theo. Youngest goal scorer is Mr. Hughes, so he's taken that record off of Allmark. Although, did that go to somebody else? Maybe Buckley might have got that. An oldest goal scorer is somebody that has done it recently. A 34-year-old Spanish striker. Sequences, none of our records would have got broken there. Oh, they've gone most games without winning, 4. So that's not bad, is it? And most games without conceding, that was still us. So most of our records stood the test of time, which is good to see. All right, let's have a look at transfer history now. Let's see who left where and when. So we want to go back to the year that we left, which was this one, 2034. So this is the first year that we left. Now, Kane Beckett left. He went to Leeds, so that's a bit of a shame. He's now 31 at Everton. What happened to Kane Beckett? So we would have never seen him again after he broke his leg. So he went off to Leeds, to Swansea, and now Everton, and he's sort of winding down his career. Did he get any England caps? He did not. So that's a shame for him. So that's Beckett. Louis Correa left for Perugia, 7.5 million. He's 29 now. He has some Portuguese caps. He was mostly at Perugia for his career, so well done to him. Puklan left for Juventus for £38 million. He is now at AC Milan, and well, he's an elite winger. He's gone on to have the sort of career that we thought he might when we signed him. So 38 million. He's been a regular for AC Milan in Serie A, so that's excellent. And he also has himself 80 Croatian caps and 17 goals. Is Fomin. He went off to Wolves. I tell you what, they had a fire sale, didn't they? Was he always Belarusian? I thought he was French. Anyway, so he went off to Wolves. He played okay for them in the Premier League and then kind of spent a little bit of time going around Europe. So that is Fomin. And well, he would have got caps. That would have been the reason he changed, wouldn't it? So well done to him. Next up, the left, we'll do permanently transfers. So Tony, he went off to Watford, was it? He was not, I think he was someone we would have probably sold in that summer anyway. 2.9 million. He ended up spending most of his career in France. So well done to him. I'm assuming no caps for him. No. Next up, Ballerini went to Real Madrid for 10.25 million. He's still going. No Italian caps, which is maybe a surprise given he was at Real Madrid. Never really featured for them though, to be honest. Had a season at Roma, spent most of his career after us at Galatasaray, and is now back in lower league Italy. So that's a shame. I thought he might go on to bigger and better things than that. Nosta went to, so we lost both our right backs that summer. Nosta went off to Bayern Munich. He has 87 caps, 1 goal. He was already a Dutch international when he left us. He's a very, very good fullback indeed. So he went to Bayern Munich. Then £49 million. I hope they put a sell on in that one. Off to Wolfsburg, and he's been playing there most of the rest of his career. He's still only 31 though, so it's still time for him. Susnik, Manchester United, 35 million. Well, it really was a fire sale. They absolutely ripped our team to pieces. What a player he is. So 105 caps for Croatia. Still at Manchester United. He's gone there and become a bit of a Manchester United legend, I would dare say. So excellent work for Susnik. Denny Gami went off to Sparta Prague. I would have hoped a little bit more for him. He's still technically available. 17 caps, 2 goals, so he didn't really play for Wales after we left. And he did spend most of his career after that in the Czech Republic. Did a decent job of things there, but again, I would have hoped for a little bit more for him, to be honest. He was a really, really good player for us. And the final one, KDH, off to Nottingham Forest. We did see that, didn't we, about him? We saw his career sort of lower league England, which, to be fair, was probably his level. He was only really ever a league player for us. So the season we left, they sold 131 million and only bought in 11.5 million. I tell you what, I made 3 of those signings so before I left. So that's not great. Next season, Buckley, a loan fee, so we won't check in on him. Davis, Sean Davis went off to Afan Lido. He's retired. at 33. He was a really, really good player for us, wasn't he? And we did a little bit of a time there at FM20 before he retired. So that's him. No caps for Wales, but you wouldn't expect him to have done that. Next up, permanent leaving was Brewerton. He went off to AZ Alkmaar. He is an assistant manager. Let's see what became of him. He spent his time in Holland. He had 1 or 2 seasons in the Alkmaar side. Then he was kind of lower league Holland. So again, I would have hoped a little bit more for him. And it does, 51 caps. So he would have got himself back into the Wales squad. So, well, that's good for him. Next up, Holic, 20 million. Off to Napoli. He's still going at Leeds United, 119 caps and 55 goals for the Czech Republic, and he's not done yet. He was going to be a star for us, wasn't he? And it looks as though he's gone on and done that. Wasn't great at Napoli, but certainly found himself a home in England, didn't he? Where it looks like he's been an absolute star. Look at that season for Leeds. So well done to Holic. And the final one of this season was Sam York. Now, we saw him already, didn't we? He kind of just went off and became a bit of a lower league, well, not lower league, but I should say a bit of a Welsh league journeyman. So he never actually played outside of Wales, old Sam York, which is maybe surprising. So let's move on to the next season. Who left this time? It was Buckley to Monaco. 1.1 million. He's still around. He's at Stoke now. He's transfer listed at Stoke. 86 Welsh Cups, so he has remained a Wales international after we left, which is excellent. He was at Monaco. I tell you what, he played a lot in League 1, so well done to him. And then he's gone off. He's sort of, championship player-ish now. It looks as though he'll be looking to move on. So that's Buckley. Nice to see he had a good career. Jarzabowski, 24.5 million. He's gone off to Porto. He had 74 Polish caps, 7 goals. He was a really good young player when we left, and he had a decent career at Porto, season at Leeds, and then he's gone off to Slavia Prague. Sorry, where went there? Garmi, wasn't it? Wonder if they would have ever butted heads there or not. And then we have Gurke went to Empoli, off to Serie A, 51 World Cups, so he stayed a Welsh international after we left as well. Off to Empoli, then to Pescara, so he made himself a nice little career in Italy. And has now moved off to Spain. So Gurke has done quite well for a little Bala Town boy, hasn't he? Well done, John Gurke. Maxwell, who of course was a panic buy for our last season there, he's 97 Scottish caps, and he went off to Hibs, and he has stayed at Hibs the rest of his career. So he's a loyal player, isn't he, old Maxwell? So well done him. So who else is left to have left? JJ. 12 million to Brighton. He is still at Brighton. 98 Croatian caps for him. And, well, he's been a very good Premier League defender. Look at that. So that's excellent. Another successful signing there. And this is where Frank O'Connor, this is when he left, was this season as well. The young left winger that we'd signed that we didn't really see too much of. But I think, obviously, we would have eventually seen him break into that team. Now, I'm trying to think off the top of my head who is left. There obviously would have been some people retire. Maybe a few released. Anybody there? No. Next season. Big Mac. So this is where Big Mac left. McCarthy was still there. Arias went to Sheffield Wednesday on loan. Now that's the guy we never really saw him play. Ollie Maguna, this is where he left. Nikolin, he left to go to 120 caps for Serbia. So he turned into a decent player. This is where he went off to go to Bournemouth. And the other one there was Thiel, and we already saw where he went off to Saudi Arabia. And we must be getting towards the end now. This is just about everybody, surely. And then we're going to have a look and see who's still around. Matt Jones, is that the guy, the Welsh guy? So he signed for Wales at some point. That was the winger that scored for us against Spain. So he ended up coming into Bala Town. I missed that, but did a pretty good job of things as well. Okay, well, there we go. That's a nice little flashback to our World Cup adventure. And is there anything else? We've got a couple of seasons to go here. 10 seasons in, most of the players would have already have left at this point, I would imagine. We haven't seen Gary Turpie leave yet, or a couple of the other youngsters perhaps. Charlie Price, he was our goalkeeper in the final game of the World Cup, wasn't he? So he came into play for Bala Town as well. Only for a couple of seasons and not particularly well, it must be said, but still, maybe if he'd made a save in the penalty shootout, it would have gone differently for him. And is this it? we've got one more, and this is the current season. So that is that. Well, let's go and have a look now and see, to end things off here, who is still at the club, if anybody. I'm going to go to players. I'm clicking all over the shop here, aren't I? And let's see if there's anybody still here. Well, actually, no one's going to be in the under 20s, are they? So let's do it this way. And the answer to that question is... Nope, there is nobody still here after 10 seasons. All right, so that means we need to go and have a look at some players who were released then, doesn't it? Okay, so the 2041-42 season, Gary Turpie was released. Oh, Gary, how could you? He's off at the New Saints. He was a fairly regular player, though, for Bala Town, and he's been a regular player for the New Saints as well. So that's Gary Turpie. So the 2038-39 season, Jason Isaac, the young striker, was released. He went to the New Saints as well. Did I teach you nothing? No World Cups for him. He's played a little bit. He went out on loan. That was the season after we left. But he's gone off and he's a regular player there for the New Saints. So 2036-37, a couple of the youngsters that we had signed. Dean Parry, he has gone to Shamrock Rovers even, and he's made himself a home there. That was, of course, the Wags left back. So that's him. And then there was somebody else that I saw here just now. Oh, yeah, Troy Skripka, the young goalkeeper who came in. He's gone to the New Saints as well. Guys, have I taught you nothing? He's gone there and he's their first choice goalkeeper, isn't he? And to be honest, he's done quite well. And he has a Wales cap. Well, there we go. Another Bala Town Youth Academy prospect playing for the national team. And the season after we left, a few here. So Sam Evans, I had such high hopes for him. Never quite did it for us. He went to the New Saints as well. Unbelievable. So that's Sam Evans. Ben Evans, I think I saw here, of course, one of the Wags regular centre-backs. So he is currently a free agent. Did you go to the New Saints as well? You did. Unbelievable. And he also spent some time at Connors Quay. And was there anybody else that played for us regularly? Did I see Ashley Savage as well? He was a good young centre-back. And don't tell me you went off to the New Saints. Of course you did. He went to FM20 first, to be fair, and then spent some time at Barry Town, but never really developed, it looks like. So there we go. That is that. That is the Bala Town series done. I've had an absolute thrill making this, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed making it. I want to say a big thank you to the Bala Town, the actual club on Twitter. They retweeted my series, the post for the episode, I'm going to say for a good 8 or 9 months. So thank you so much if anybody from the club is watching. Really, really appreciated that. My only regret, if we have a look here at the legends, actually, which you probably should have looked at, my only regret really, oh, look at that, Allmark finally became a legend, is that, Big Mac and Icon, and that's pretty much it. My only regret is that the stupid COVID has meant that I was never able to go and see them play in real life. But other than that, it's been an absolute blast. And obviously the big takeaway from this is that I got my stadium. Take care.